Sid's theory there, whether it's true, is that he's probably planning on writing his own memoirs. So he didn't interview for the book.
So you kept diaries in the '69 tour as well. I know Fripp did.
I kept a diary for 1969. For some reason, I mean, it's another one of these mysterious things. I decided to keep a diary, which I'd never done, beginning of 1969, and I did all these. Every day was a different color entry and all this sort of
So is any of that going to show up in the book?
Yeah,
Great.
Yeah, and in fact, I might even publish it myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't go all the way to the end of '69 because it started to fizzle out a bit when we did the American tour.
Yeah.
But
California.
It goes right up to August, September. And it's actually pretty mundane. But then there's all these little gems in there.
Yeah.
Like the day we decided on the name of the group and just things like that, which is very useful for Sid.
That segues into my next question. How did that come about? The name King Crimson, does it have like a whole sort of a...
Oh, the usual list of the...
Beelzebub sort of thing,
I can't remember. It came out of the song came first, basically.
Okay.
And it's probably Peter's idea. I think we wanted something sort of dramatic and not regal exactly, but to have something.
So what did you always call yourselves then?
Josh Fripp and
Josh and Fripp and McDonald. Oh, and Sinfield.
I would have got over well.
It's an accounting firm.
Vic and Tex.
Like Anderson, Bruford, Whitman now?
Yeah.
A mouthful.
Yeah, just a bit.
Yeah.
The accounting firm.
I was going to ask you, are you surprised that there's still the interest in the music and things like that? I mean, I guess when you're young, and you're, I guess just starting out, you never think that maybe 30 years, 40 years later.
Yeah, I mean, I certainly I certainly didn't think I'd be sitting here by Mellotron,
first time since
doing
'69
this,
or something.
I just didn't think, but it's amazing how this thing just keeps evolving even after all this time, and there's almost like a renewed energy. There's a lot of things going on with the book and various other things happening, and talk of me and Mike and some others getting together and maybe remastering McDonald and Giles and various other things. There seems to be some new energy sort of snowballing, which is it's amazing.
I know my friends and I always used to listen to it as an antidote to most of the stuff that was on the radio. It's like, this is real music. This is something we can believe in as credible musicians on it, not the stuff that's a lot of the stuff that's on the radio. And it made us feel good about kind of being I don't know, not enlightened's not the wrong word, but knowing that there was something there and we didn't have to question it. And it had an integrity.
I'm not. Yeah, I mean, that's nice.
It's a personal thing.
I don't really know how to respond to that, but other than you should probably question everything a little bit. But no, that's good. I mean, we wanted to make we respect each other, and therefore, we wanted to make some substantial music. And again, I think the lyrics helped, because the lyrics are very meaningful.
Yeah.
Underneath all the sort of imagery and all that, and I think that definitely helps to keep the depth of meaning.
So yeah, I mean, in the 8 days or 7 days or whatever you were doing it, it's almost like the album just kind of poured out of all of you, right? As opposed to being okay, well, maybe to make sure we put this lyric here. It almost doesn't seem planned. It just seems like it was.
Yeah, well, we were quite well rehearsed, but yeah, it was just there was definitely an energy, and also sort of a naivety, if anything, and sort of mixed in with it, because we didn't. I mean, nobody sort of told us that we couldn't produce it ourselves. We just, it was sort of, that was kind of unheard of. And we basically just went in, and a bunch of kids, relatively, and just made a record,
Yeah.
So just like in that sort of innocent way, but at the same time, in a very thoughtful way as well, at the same time.
I was wondering, how did it work? Did the music inspire the lyrics, or did the lyrics inspire the music?
Probably a bit of both. I know that in the chord, or the chords, the song itself is called "The Chord," was not in the chord. I know that that lyric was written before the music came, and I basically wrote that on guitar to the lyric, so the lyric came first. Very often the lyrics came first. I think I Talked to the Wind, the lyric came first on that as well. But, yeah.
Do you recall Epitaph, whether the lyrics were first?
Epitaph, that was more of a group composition. I know we wrote that in rehearsal, so I'm not quite sure at what point the lyric came in. I can't recall exactly on that one.
Yeah. Well, to me, the signature sound of that album is the Mellotron. It's really what first got my interest, peaked in the Mellotron. Most people I hear talk about the Moody Blues. For me, it was that album. And,
Right.
I mean, it's just so powerful.
Yeah.
It's just,
Well, I may have said earlier. I mean, it's really fortunate that the instrument was invented and made at that time, because it would have been, a Hammond organ or something instead of.
Can you imagine that?
The strings.
Thank God for street bass.
Less interesting. Much less interesting.
Yeah, and so, and it was the only way. I mean, it was the only. There are a lot of nowadays. There's a million different ways you can put strings or whatever. But it was basically the only thing going. I think maybe unless Chamberlain and other things were happening at the same time. But as far as I was concerned, the Mellotron was the only game in town. And I just had to find one. Looking through the advertisements in the newspaper and stuff like that.
You certainly nailed it on Mellotron, on Epitaph. I mean, it's just a wonderful song.
Can you remember where it came from? Where it came from? I know that it was somewhere, and I believe I was living in the suburbs at the time. I think it was somewhere in the county of Surrey or something. That's the impression I get. But I remember, taking a van to someone's house and seeing this big piece of furniture in the room. So, yeah, that's it. That's what it is.
Actually, that's a sideboard, believe it or not. It's over there.
But basically, it's just basically looking in the advertisements in the newspaper and seeking them out.
What did you pay for it?
Sorry?
What did you pay for it?
I don't remember.
Well, Frick says that it was your uncle that loaned the band money or something. And
I had an uncle at the time that, in order for us to not have to have day jobs, and in order for us to rehearse, do nothing but rehearse, and to quit the band, he gave us a loan. And very, very lucky, and we were able to buy drums and Marshall amps and Mellotrons.
So that's where the real credit for this album should lie, at least the financier.
Yeah.
It would have never happened without that.
That's right. Well, a lot of things, very fortuitous. But he, I mean, we had a meeting,
The celestial stars were in alignment here. Everything came together.
Absolutely, yeah. Good fairy was looking at it.
John wasn't there.
John's the best man.
Thanks, Ricky.
You're welcome.
Nice. Buddy, pal.
Did you ever miss?
I set him up, you just...
Yeah.
Where's Martin when we need to pick on him?
Where is he?
He's fixing
Slipped in the corner.
He's fixing something that's on fire or something.
Did you ever miss playing them when after you after you left King Crimson and wanted to
Miss
pour?
the Mellotron?
Yeah.
Not really. I mean, I didn't.
You know, miss your time.
Because of the difficulty of playing them on the road and that sort of thing. I didn't really miss it.
Yeah.
But I'd like to use one again. No,
I mean, when